Hi guys, in this video we're going to be looking at an iPad Air 2 with a cracked screen. Just going to be a basic screen replacement to get this one off without the glass going everywhere. Okay, so I've gone around most of the iPad and got the glass up. I just wanted to explain the way that I normally do it. I know there's hundreds of videos on YouTube showing you how to change a screen. I guess various people have their own way of doing it. I think a heat pad where you heat up the whole screen uniformly is the best way. I don't have one, so I have to rely on a heat gun and basically work through slowly. What I like to do is use a sharp blade and choose an area down the side. The sides generally have less adhesive, so it's easier to heat it up and then get the glass to lift a little bit. So on this one, what I did is I started where the cracks start on the side here, so I could lift and get a pry tool underneath there. And then I went up, so this top area is where there are less cracks. The areas that have got lots of cracks like this is always going to be a problem, unless you're very lucky and you actually get underneath the adhesive and you're able to heat it up in a way that as you pull the adhesive, all these little pieces come up with the adhesive. Otherwise, these little pieces are just going to crack and splinter as you go along trying to get them off. But yeah, so basically what I do, start off with a sharp blade, get under, and then just slowly work around as I'm heating it and put these pry tools in as I go along so that it doesn't re-stick. And we've gotten down to here. We've stopped at another pretty large crack, and then over here we start getting all these lots of small cracks. So I'm going to try and come around the corner and get this piece up, and then we'll see how it goes when we get to these cracks over here. This is going to be fun, and that's just completely splintered. It's going to be really messy. Glass is going to be flying everywhere. I'm wearing safety glasses just in case the glass goes into my eye. We won't want that. But yeah, generally just go slow, heat it up as much as comfortable as you go along, and hopefully eventually the screen comes off. So let's carry on. Okay, so first thing that you have to do once you get the screen off, as all the other videos show you, disconnect the battery, a little homemade battery separator. Take the screws out, and then we can pop off the connectors for the screen. Okay, broken screen is out. Now we're going to have to remove the home button. So we can transfer that to the new screen. I think what I'll do first is work on cleaning this up, and then we'll do the home button. Okay, so we've gone around and cleaned off all of the broken glass. Cleaned off all the adhesive with some alcohol. So that's ready for the new screen. So now what we have to do is just get the home button bracket and the button off here to transfer it to the new screen. Again, this is done just with gentle heat. Don't want to break any of the cables. Just go slow and it'll work out. Okay, so we have the home button removed. When you're doing this, it's just very important to go very, very slowly, working your way around underneath to get all the adhesive off. Generally, there is also adhesive holding the bracket on either side. There's adhesive along this little cable and a little bit underneath here as well. So I just gently heated it up and gently pried it up. There is also this little ring of adhesive which sits there, which holds the actual button itself into place. Mine came off generally in one piece because the glass, as you can see, is broken right around here. I think what I'll do is, there is still some glass stuck in the adhesive there, and which I can't get out, so I'll probably end up using some other adhesive to glue that back in. And then you glue back the bracket on either side, make sure it's lined up, plug in the little cable, and you're good to go. So I'm just waiting for the new screen to arrive, and then we will put that in. Okay, so I received the new screen for the iPad, and the new screens don't come with the little sensor which switches off the backlight, the on-off sensor. So I'm going to have to take the old one off the old screen and solder it onto the new one. Now, I haven't done this before, but I had a look at some tutorials and it seems pretty easy. Famous last words. So we're going to just have to desolder this little sensor and stick it onto the new one. So let's see if I can do that without messing up too much. Okay, so that's the little sensor. Small amount of flux so that it just helps it coming off. Now, I do believe you can do this with a soldering iron. I do wonder if it'll be easier to do it with a hot air or not. The tutorials that I saw, they all used a soldering iron, so that's what I'm going to attempt to do. Just heat it and slowly lift up one pad at a time. Just clean my soldering iron here. Where's my solder? There it is. So the idea, which way do I come in? Probably best to work at this angle. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get this under the microscope. There. I do wish I had a proper microscope. Okay, so what they would do is get between there. And then and just very gently heat up. Come on, buddy. Oh, I do also wish I was a bit more ambidextrous. Working with my left hand here is always a challenge. There we go. That came off pretty easily. So we will clean that up and put it onto the new one when we're ready. Put that aside, keep the little sticker. Now we should be done with the old screen. Well, I'm going to put the sensor onto the new screen. Just going to tin these a little bit. A little bit of flux. Put a little bit of solder on my iron. Just tin these a little bit. Okay. Grab the sensor. Where do my tweezers go? The hardest thing is going to be to try and line it up. Okay, that's good. Now, let's not burn the finger. Perfect. Let's wipe off that flux. I don't want to get any alcohol on the tape there. Okay, so now we'll stick it back together, and hopefully that cable is not a problem. I think once I put the little bracket on, it should be good. Okay, so I think we are ready to put this iPad back together. I got the home button back in, glued the bracket back in place, the little sleep sensor is on and that's working. So we'll hook it up, give it a dry run before we remove the adhesive, make sure it's all front working, and once we're happy that everything's working, we'll remove the adhesive and stick it down. Okay, we haven't removed the side of the adhesive. I'm going to make sure that it switches on. Nice. The lighting is a bit weird. It looked like there was a shadow, but that was just the angle. So that looks good. Touch is working. Home button's working. Let me see if I was given the print code for this. Even pressure all the way around. You can put one or two more over here. Now we'll come with hot air and just heat up the glass. That's not raised, is it? What am I seeing there? No, it's not. It's good. So hot air is on about 200. And again, I'm just going to heat up the glass so that the heat goes through to the adhesive and makes it a little more tacky. Okay, so we're back on this iPad after leaving it for the night with the clamps on. The screen is nice and secure. Everything seems to be working fine. I'll give that back to the customer. I'm sure she'll be happy. That's it for this video. Thanks again for watching. Like and subscribe if you like this kind of content. Feel free to share it, and we'll catch you in the next one. Ciao.